Welcome back to Bright Violet Arts. My name is Valerie, and I am back today to set up my next journal with you guys. It is going to be my bullet journal for the months of July through December of 2022. It's this gorgeous vegan leather chartreuse green, at least I'm going to call it chartreuse green, 192 page beauty. And I did something fun, which is I also splurged on this little pocket notebook, also from the same company, Archer and Olive. I plan to use this as a companion notebook for calorie counting during the same 6-month period of July through December. My supplies this time include a Tombow in color 020. I've got a black fine liner in size 1.0. Everything else is a collection of paint pens and gel pens. These are the Moonlight Gelly Rolls from Sakura. But something that's new to this channel are the Karin DecoBrush Pigment markers. I have tried these for the first time in the setup in this video, and I'm so pleased with them. They basically have the opacity or the opaqueness of a paint pen, but they deliver that in a brush pen format. So you get thick lines and thin lines for calligraphy or coloring. I'm going to start the first page of the journal, the nameplate, with just a stylized version of my name. And for that I'm using the pigment markers as well as just regular paint pens, and then a neon orange gel pen to highlight that drop shadow. Over on the inside cover of the notebook, I am starting a little painting here. I've got a third eye design drawn, and the third eye is a religious or spiritual symbol that, I mean, it does mean different things to different groups of people, but to me, I am thinking of it as a gateway to higher consciousness and a symbol of enlightenment. Below the third eye, I've drawn a lotus flower. And for me, that symbolizes both the practice of mindfulness and the concept of self-care. So I like the idea of using a third eye with a lotus in my bullet journal design, just because, you know, the concepts of enlightenment and self-care and mindfulness are, for me, what bullet journaling is really all about. My theme for this notebook is earth magic, and so the symbolism worked really well for the vibes I'm trying to create around that theme. And here's how it all turned out. I think it's pretty cool. Moving on to the second spread of the notebook. This is going to be my year at a glance spread. And I'm starting out on the left side with a full page illustration. I'm using a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen in black in size small to fine line in the pencil sketch that I've already laid down. I used my Tombow brush marker to start off the coloring, but I quickly switched over to paint pens because I realized I wanted to get a more opaque look. This illustration I love because I feel like this is all the elements that I think of when I think of earth magic I was able to include in this design. When I set up my last notebook, which was used for the first half of 2022, I chose the theme of moon magic, which is very similar to earth magic, only, you know, it focuses on the cycles of the moon. So my illustrations are pretty similar in both of the notebooks for this year. I like to think this is like a sequel to the first volume of 2022. I went over my gold paint pen with gold metallic watercolor. And then I did a little detail work with the Gelly Roll's Moonlight gel pens. Instead of an index, I'm going to use tabs to help me locate each of these spreads that I make for the journal setup. And again, this first one is my year at a glance page. I'm only using 6 months, just for the months remaining in 2022, because those are the ones I think that I'll actually reference. And here's how it looked when it was all finished. So the next spread up is my future log, and I'm only setting this up again for 6 months, just for the last 6 months of 2022. and I will go ahead and leave myself a column here on the right for any dates that I need to schedule for 2023 or beyond. I don't have a lot of room on this page for an illustration, but I don't think I'm going to need that whole column for 2023 dates. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of it for an illustration of a mortar and pestle and some magical herbs. The next page is devoted to the practice of mindfulness. And to that end, the way I'm going to try to accomplish that is by creating a mantra. And I've never done that before, but from what I understand, a mantra is just a simple phrase that suits your circumstances that can be repeated silently in your head, during meditation practice or during times of stress or distress in life. You can, say your mantra to yourself as a calming, grounding tool to get through the situation. It can also be used as an affirmation, and I think that's kind of the way I'll be using it. I just like the idea of putting a positive statement out into the world and seeing what, the power of thought, the power of self-talk, and the power of speech, I just want to see what that does for me if I pay attention to it and try to harness it toward my benefit. On the other side of the spread, I've got instructions here for creating a mantra, and I wanted to write these down because I think that I may change up my mantra many times over a 6-month period during the use of this journal. So I'm going to write down the steps to create a helpful mantra, and that way I can reference it every time I need to start over and come up with a new phrase. This spread is a weekly weight tracker that covers the whole 6-month period of the notebook, so that's 26 weeks. And the way I like to track my weight is by taking my weight one time on the scale every Monday morning. So all of those dates are the Mondays that exist between now and the end of the year. And then I'm just doing a fun little illustration on the left-hand side. This one is a drawing of a couple of potion bottles and like a bundle of herbs. And again, I've got my little sparkles in there because I think sparkles make it look magical. I used a white gel pen to finalize the details on the leaves and then to highlight the little bubbles that are bubbling away inside my little magical potion beaker here. And I decided to make this a little quote page just to fill up some space down here and be kind of whimsical. And there you go, there's my weight tracker. The next spread has two purposes. On the left, I have projects, and on the right, I'll be tracking my chores or my cleaning tasks around the house. The projects are like home improvement things or like what I call team activities that my husband and I will try to do together. Things like painting the house or something like that. Those are things that'll go on the projects list. And then chores is a weekly tracker for the chores I like to get done about every 7 days. So I just have, again, all the Monday's dates listed through the end of the year. And so I'll make a dot in each column there if I do the chore during, that particular week. This is my media tracker, and this is where I will keep track of anything I'm interested in watching or listening to, any music, film, TV series, books I want to read, or miscellaneous things. And miscellaneous might be like, a podcast, or maybe it's a stand-up comedian that a friend recommends to me, something like that. The next page is for things I'm learning, such as new words, new vocabulary words in English, and then new words I'm learning in Spanish, which is a second language I'm studying. And the Google page is like what I call a Google parking lot. It's to list things that I might want to do some research on, topics I'm interested in and would like to learn more about. This spread is to keep track of a wish list of items I'd like to buy for myself, and then gift ideas for all of the significant people in my life that I shop for. So I have either initials or abbreviations for who those gift recipients would be, and I'll keep track of it there throughout the year. And then lastly, this is my content planner for my social media posting and for creating my bullet journals. I have a place there to write theme ideas and video ideas, as well as a account growth tracker here for my socials. I've got just my subscriber count and follower count there in that box, and that's a fun thing to keep track of. And then I'll close it out with one little illustration here, a little mushroom patch, just a little nod to the mushroom on the cover of the journal. And here is a final flip through of all the pages I made to set up this new bullet journal. I'm pretty excited to use it. I think it's really cool. It really captures the vibes that I was looking for, like the very magical, mindful, earthy vibes. It exceeded my hopes. So I'm really proud of it, and I'm really going to enjoy using it. And I appreciate you guys letting me share it with you. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. You can follow me over on Instagram for daily story content and all kinds of other journal related posts. I'm at Bright Violet Arts, and I will link that in the description box. And until next time, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and happy journaling.